My name is Diana, and at 37 years old, I had made her favorite poached salmon with lemon butter, roasted carrots, and a peach tart from scratch. I even found the old floral linen that she used to scold me about, but secretly adored. It was Vera's 64th birthday, and I told myself this year might be different. Not better, maybe, but quieter. The table was set for six. Vera at the head, flanked by her bridge partner, June, our cousin Lori, and two neighbors who had known me since I was a teenager. I poured the wine, offered smiles past dishes. It was almost easy to pretend this was love. Then Vera raised her glass to aging without baggage, she said, smirking as she swirled the wine. And to finally having a life free of dead weight. She looked directly at me. Honestly, Diana, the best gift you could give me is to leave my life. No one spoke. June coughed softly. Lori's fork paused mid-her. I stared at Vera, hurt blooming in my chest like a poisonous flower. Dead weight. That was new. Usually it was me not measuring up or being a failure. But this was cutting. I forced a smile. You got it, Mom. I'll move out soon. Later, after they'd all gone, I sank to the floor, sobbing. My mom wanted me out. Of course she did. Why wouldn't she? I was broken. I was always broken. At 19, I'd had a psychotic break. A doctor diagnosed me with schizoaffective disorder. They put me on medication, gave me therapy, and sent me home. I'd never really recovered. I dropped out of college. My grades slipped. I moved back in with my mom when I was 21. She took me to her bridge club and introduced me as her special assistant, which meant fetching snacks and pouring tea. After that, I went to the bathroom and cried. Pretty soon, I stopped leaving the house. I got another diagnosis, misophonia, a hatred of other people's sounds. Now, at 37, I couldn't hold a job. I couldn't even hold a conversation. My entire world was my mom's house. Then she found out I was seeing a therapist again. She wasn't angry. She was practical. She sat me down and said, I'm not signing your medical bills anymore. You need to get your act together. And that's when I met Ryan. Ryan was my therapist. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. She helped me find a job at a bookstore. Slowly, I began to heal. I learned to control my anxiety and panic attacks. I even started taking small steps outside my comfort zone. I joined a pottery class, volunteered at an animal shelter, and reconnected with an old friend from college, Sam. Ryan knew just how fragile my mental state was. She knew I was still volatile and unpredictable. She should have been the one to tell me that the most important thing I could do for my mother was to stay away. 3 weeks after the birthday dinner, I was packing my things. I called Sam and I asked him to move in. He didn't hesitate. When I told him what happened, he flew into action. He helped me pack, gave me strength when I felt weak. 2 days later, we were unpacking in our new apartment. It was small, but it was ours. I told Sam everything. How I heard those words and knew I had to get out. How I was so close to being well, to being happy, to being normal. How I was terrified of losing everything again. He held me as I cried. It's okay, he whispered. We're here now. You're safe. But I wasn't safe. My mom was right. I was dead weight. I was a burden. Sam would have to work 2 jobs to support us. I'd never be able to repay him. Shame coiled in my stomach, squeezing the breath from my lungs. I pushed him away. I can't do this, Sam. I can't make you give up your dreams for me. I don't want to be a charity case. He kept my face in his hands, his thumb stroking my cheeks. Don't you dare say that. You're not a charity case. You're my girlfriend. We're a team. Remember what Rhea said? We're in this together. I nodded miserably. I knew he was right, but I needed more than his love. I needed to be useful, to feel like I was contributing. So I got a job at the animal shelter. The next day, I was scrubbing out a litter box when I remembered something. My mom threw away all my childhood stuff when I turned 18, but I had one box left. It was filled with journals. Each page was a piece of my soul. I wrote stories, poems, dreams, secrets. I hadn't looked at them in 20 years. I found them in the attic, bound with string, hidden in a false bottom. I brought them home and started reading. The first entry was dated January 1995. I was 12. The handwriting was childish. Dear Diary, today, Mommy told me I'm too sensitive. I wish I could unfeel things. I carefully peeled the pages apart, each word a fresh wound. These weren't memories, they were scars. Memories are supposed to fade, but these were getting worse with time. They were proof that I wasn't broken, I was damaged. I was destroyed. I crumpled the journal and screamed until there were no tears left. I couldn't keep doing this. I had to go back. The next morning, I called my mom. She picked up on the third ring. Hi, Mom. Diana, haven't you moved out? Yeah, but I need your help. I need to get rid of some things. I drove home, not because I missed her, but because I had to finish what I started. I walked into her house and handed her the box. Here, get rid of these. They're trash. She looked at me, then at the box. What are these? My journals. I don't want them anymore. She opened the box and pulled out the first journal. Too sensitive, she read, her voice cracking. She closed the book slowly. Diana, I'm sorry. I shook my head. No, you don't understand. I'm not broken. I'm damaged. I'm destroyed. She stepped closer. None of that is true, sweetheart. None of it. You're my daughter. I know you better than anyone. And I'm not giving up on you. Maybe this wasn't the end. Maybe I could still be fixed.